Hi everybody. I'm Vishwaksana Yedluri, and this is my project submission for the Gen AI Varsity Hackathon, focusing on the SEC filing summarizer and Q&A agent. It's there in assignment F7. So this is just to read. So the problem here is query 10k or 10 questions, filling with and answers investor questions with source citations. That is the main problem we are going to be solving in this project. Before I begin the presentation, I have just two quick notes. So number one is the API keys. Due to privacy and security concerns, the API keys for external services such as Gemini or OpenAI will be loaded securely from my environmental variables and will not be displayed on screen during the demonstration. Number two, about the hackathon and the scope. I completed the project as a solo participant and I've done it in around 24 hours, 25, 26 hours. And because of this constraint, I acknowledge that some portions of the code may not be really have been, like they aren't taken, they're not having extensive care, or they are not having proper error handling. And I'll do my best to navigate the live demo smoothly, and I'll be prepared to fix any unexpected errors that occur. And once I this video is done, I'll address them immediately after the presentation. So before I begin, also I just would like to thank Karanshu Walangar. Uh, this is his SEC filing. I'm just giving credit for the work. And let's start. The problem we're tackling in this project is information overload. Investor analysts and compliance officers are required to comb through hundreds of pages of dense regulatory documents like 10Ks or 10Qs. This manual process is technically very time consuming, it's costly, it carries a high risk of missing critical, often buried information. So, the goal of this project is to dramatically cut the time to insight by creating an accurate, verifiable, and intelligent driven analyst copilot. Let's start. Now, as you can see, this is all my code that I've been writing, and I've taken the help of AI. So, yeah, basically, our project is fully reproducible. You can see the requirements.txt here, as I'll be showing. And apart from that, actually, give me a second. I'll pull it up right here. Yeah, this is the requirements, the README file. The key dependencies like the LangChain or ChromaDB or the pandas are there in the README, and we've updated the README.md with our problem statement and design. So yeah, sorry about that. Basically, this is all the code I've written for uh, this project. Just a second. Yeah, so like we have done 2 to 3 definitions. So where the first one is the initial, where you're basically just trying to call uh, you're basically indexing, where we are taking the raw SEC filings which are in a format of a CSV, and then we use a document loader to process them, and then later use LangChain's text splitter to break the long fillings into small and meaningful chunks. Yeah, apart from that, we convert these chunks into numerical embeddings, and we store it in the ChromaDB. I'm using ChromaDB as my database here. And why we're doing this is especially really crucial for context engineering. Now coming down, uh, basically this is the retrieval. So basically we created a function where we're retrieving all of the information from all the documents, all the web links that are provided in the CSV file, and also bringing information from the CSV file itself. Now finally we have the keys here. They are up. The embedding process allows us to search by the meaning of a query, semantic search, not just keywords, ensuring we retrieve the best context for the LLM. And here are my keys. This is like the function here. Apart from that, we just as you review the code, we can see that the API keys are being called here, and like I mentioned before, I cannot display the API key here due to privacy concerns. Now, since you looked at the back end, I thought of showing you the front end as well. So I will just put it up right here. This is the PowerShell I've been using to launch the local host, and I'm launching it at a 8000 port. So basically I'm running this script here in my environment, uvcon.exe, and then once it hosts the local host opens up to the port 8000, and then it reloads. So now that it's done, I will put it up here. So basically the localhost 8000 is basically of two things. One is I'm showing you the health here. Let's just wait till it's loading. It should be loading, just give it a couple of minutes. Okay, yep, it's loaded, and now we're calling up the health. So for now the health is running okay, and now there's the UI. So basically I just created a UI for this, for the SEC filing Q&A drag. So where basically there are 4 parts here. You just type the question and you ask it. Once you're done, you get an answer, and in the answer you're given the confidence level and the citations. In the citations, you're provided with the doc ID, the chunk ID, and the preview. And once those two are over, we come to the raw JSON, where the answer is provided in a JSON format. So now I have also created, by the way, a couple of questions. So let's just start with simple questions here. So basically, what supply chain risks are mentioned? And yeah, let's ask it here. Now as that happens, we can look that in the back end, that question is being retrieved here, and when it is sent to Gemini, here I'm using LangChain because the SDK is not available currently. The LangChain, the Gemini gives a quick answer to it, and sends a response back here. Sends a response back to here with an answer saying Supply chain risks include component shortages, logistic delays, rising freight costs, extended supplier lead time, and logistics constraints. So now that's what the answer is, and it has given three citations, and the confidence level is at 0.95. The citations of this, uh, basically citations are like the evidence, where you're getting this evidence and who has specifically said that. There are three documents. So one of them is company B 10Q sample, another one is sample supply chain risks, another one is company A. So the chunk ID. So basically, it's they're given previews here. So apart from that, there's the raw JSON file, raw JSON, where for each document there's given a certain there's the chunk ID and the preview as well. At last, there's a conference combined, and this is the answer, like I mentioned before. Now let's just test out a couple more questions so that we understand how this works. Now I've asked another question. So it retrieved the question, and it's retrieving data from the txt files and all the documents in the data folder. And once that's done, it gives an answer based on its research. After a couple of questions, I'll also be showing you how the API keys are being used and the API data usage. So looks like we got an answer. Yeah. So basically, management expects modest sequential revenue growth led by cloud subscriptions and premium support, with a slight improvement in gross margin as supply costs normalize. Foreign exchange is expected to remain a headwind in EMEA. So now coming back, there are two doc IDs, and this is the preview, and this is the JSON file. Yeah, that's it. Now I just would like to show, this is the, I've been using Gemini as my API for API, and the fallback API is OpenAI. I'm using in Gemini. I've been using the Gemini 2.0 flashlight. So basically, this is how the data is being used, and here are some charts, especially with this. These are basically the requests per minute, input tokens per minute, and requests for the entire day. So just a second. So basically, now that it's over, I just want to conclude by talking about the impact and expandability of this solution. Business value. So the business value here is that for investors, this RAG system is an enterprise solution. It provides a clear competitive advantage. It allows analysts to shift their focus from finding data to analyzing data. It facilitates accelerated due diligence, allowing a financial firm to get cited defensible answers in seconds, not hours, leading to faster investment decisions. Strategic expansion. So basically here the underlying architecture is expandable. We integrate the system easily, which will help monitor earning call transcripts and legal documents, which will later provide a single-sided risk monitoring dashboard. This move from the tool from a Q&A assistant uh, is to the core market surveillance tool. Finally, the assessment summary. Our project demonstrates strong technical implementation and utilization of AI by deploying a complex verified RAG system. I believe we've solved a critical real world problem with an innovative solution, which will result in high impact and expandability. Thank you for your time, and please do let me know if you have any other questions.